Hello, today I'm going to be talking about the difference between heat exhaustion and an exertional heat stroke, what the different signs and symptoms are, as well as how to use a rectal thermometer. To start off, we'll talk about the difference between what heat exhaustion and a exertional heat stroke may look like. So heat exhaustion and exertional heat stroke can look similar in the first few seconds on the field, but they are not the same emergency. Mixing them up can cost precious time. Let's break down how to tell them apart. So heat exhaustion is defined by a rectal temperature of 104 degrees Fahrenheit or below. The athlete is still alert. They might be dizzy, have a headache, or seem mildly confused, but there's no significant central nervous system dysfunction. The telltale sign is the inability to continue exercising in hot, humid weather. You'll typically see profuse sweating, pale or clammy skin, fatigue, dehydration, staggering, or diarrhea. Now, a heat stroke is a different level of an emergency entirely. The rectal temperature will be 105 degrees Fahrenheit or higher, and this is critical. There's obvious central nervous system dysfunction, and this can present as confusion, combativeness, a personality change, irritability, and even a collapse. That combination, a high temperature plus central nervous dysfunction, is what makes a true medical emergency. So how do you actually tell them apart on the field? Two things. First, a rectal temperature is the only accurate method of assessing core body temperature. Oral, tympanic, temporal, and axillary readings all underestimate core temperature and should never be used to rule out a heat stroke. Second, watch for what's called the lucid interval. An athlete can look and sound totally fine early on and then deteriorate rapidly. So if you've got a temperature of 105 degrees or higher, along with any change in mental status, treat it as a heat stroke until proven otherwise. Start cooling immediately, and remember to cool first and transport second. Now I will demonstrate how to use a rectal thermometer. We will assume that this is after I have done a full assessment and have now suspected that the athlete is suffering from exertional heat stroke.
So now that I suspect that there is an exertional heat stroke situation happening, I'm going to check the internal core temperature of my athlete by using a rectal thermometer. So the first thing that I'm going to do is put gloves on and turn my thermometer on. Next, I'm going to sanitize the thermometer with an alcohol pad and then apply lubricant to the thermometer as well. The ideal position that you want the athlete in is on their side with the top knee bent, but because we have a dummy here, it's a little bit more difficult to do that position, so we're just going to keep the dummy on its stomach. I have this towel here, and if you have help with you, you can have somebody kind of shield the procedure from any audience or any spectators, any other athletes that might be around. But if you're by yourself, you just do the best that you can with just pulling down the shorts, maybe using your towel just to drape over, making sure that your thermometer is on. Okay, so now I will insert the thermometer 4 inches past the anal sphincter, which can be demonstrated by this blue line here. Slowly inserting it. And once we are 4 inches in, you can tape the remaining wire onto the glutes or onto the thigh, and then also use the athlete's pants or shorts to keep the wire in place. You are going to monitor the temperature for this situation. The temperature was 105 degrees Fahrenheit, which is a major red flag for exertional heat stroke. So we are going to immediately get this athlete into cold water immersion to lower that core body temperature and activate EMS.